Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will discuss an important concept in occupational health and safety called the hierarchy of controls. The hierarchy of control is a systematic approach used to minimize or eliminate workplace hazards. It helps safety professionals choose the most effective method to protect workers from accidents, injuries, and illnesses. In every workplace, whether it is a factory, construction site, laboratory, or office, hazard exists. But the main question is, how can we control these hazards effectively? So for this purpose, safety experts develop the hierarchy of controls, which has 5 levels. These levels are arranged from most effective to least effective. Here are some hierarchy of controls. The first one is the elimination. What is meant by the elimination? The elimination means the first and most effective method is elimination. Elimination means completely removing the hazard from the workplace so that workers are no longer exposed to it. If a hazard does not exist, the risk is automatically removed. We know that if the hazard does not exist, that is the main cause that can harm us. If that hazard not exist, it means the hazard is automatically removed. That is why elimination is considered the best control method. The first and the best control method is elimination. For example, working at height. We are taking the example of working at height. If a task can be completed on the ground instead of on a ladder or a scaffold, the fall hazard is eliminated. I hope so you got this example. And the second important control is the substitution. That is, the second level of a control is substitution. It means replacing a hazard material, process, or equipment with a safer alternative instead of removing the hazards completely. Means in the second method, we cannot eliminate the completely, but we will provide the safer alternative instead of removing the hazard completely. We replace it with something less dangerous. That will be the dangerous but less dangerous. For example, one common example is replacing a toxic chemical with a less harmful chemical. Mostly in chemical industries, we see if there is another chemical is available that we can use, so we will use the less harmful chemical. In construction site, the second example, in the construction site, instead of using heavy manual lifting, companies may substitute the task with a mechanical lifting equipment. You have many times seen the workers use their hands to carry heavy bags, or we can say the boxes. But if there is another machine is available for forklift or any machine that can lift the heavy loads to replace or to transfer from one place to another place, so using that machine we can say that that is a substitute of the manual. The third control is the engineering control. Engineering control involves designing or modifying equipment, tools, or workplace to isolate people from hazard. This is the another technique. Means this engineering controls. They use calculations or designs to modify the things like tools, equipment to isolate people from the hazard. This method focuses on changing the physical environment so that workers are protected. Example, machine guarding. For example, machine with moving parts can cause serious injuries. So, installing guards prevent workers from the touching dangerous parts. For example, grinder. If grinder is running without guard, there is a high risk. But engineering control, what we will do? We will apply or install the guards. The disc guard that will be less harmful, and that can be the protective method to use that grinder machine. Another example is the ventilation system. Ventilation system in factories or laboratories, these systems remove harmful gases, fumes, or dust from the air. If we will work in a closed environment, in a room or in a closed warehouse, so there is a high chances to get a risk from the hazardous fumes or gases. For that, the system engineering control we will apply that is a ventilation system. Mostly we install in our homes as well. The fourth method is the administrative control. Administrative control involves changing the way people work. Are you getting me? Changing the way people work by implementing policies, procedures, and training programs. Example: safety training programs for workers. What an administrative will do? Administrative will arrange safety training programs for workers, standard operating procedures, warning signs and safety labels, work permits such as a hot work permit or space permits, confined space permits, or we can say the rotating workers to reduce exposure of fire. Do you know what is the work permit? This is another topic. The permit is a document in which all the hazards are mentioned, safety protocols, corrective actions, authority persons, time, location. There is a document that play important role in safety protocols. So this is the administrative control, means they can change the way of the working of the people at the work site. Fifth, or we can say the last a method or control, personal protective equipment, or we can say the PPE. It refers to protective equipments worn by workers to reduce exposure to hazards. It is considered that the last line of defense, because it does not remove hazard, it only protects the workers. Because it worn by the workers, that is a protection from the hazards. For example, safety helmets, gloves, goggles, or safety shoes, respirators, ear protection for heavy noise, gloves to protect from the chemicals, oils, goggles to protect eyes, and safety shoes to protect our feet. Workers wear helmets to protect against the falling objects. And in laboratory workers, what they do? They wear gloves and goggles to protect against chemicals. So the hierarchy of control is important because it helps the organization prioritize the most effective safety measures. So hopefully you understand these five controls. The first one is elimination, then substitution, engineering controls, administrative controls, and the last is the PPE. Here in conclusion, we can see in a short form. Here, elimination means remove the hazards completely. Substitution, we can know the meaning. Substitution means alternative. Replace the hazard with a safer option, or we can say with alternate option, but with less hazard, with a less risk. Engineering control is isolate people from the hazard, or administrative control, that is we can say the change the way people work. And the PPE is the last option, that is protect the worker with personal protective equipment. For more videos, please subscribe, like, and comment. Ask questions in the comment section box, and what topic you want to learn, please mention in comment. Thank you so much for watching videos.